Hi, good morning, family. I decided that, with all of us being socially distant, it would be really great. I would love to have everyone over for breakfast, but it's not going to be possible for a while. So I was about to make Cindy and Joaquin their favorite breakfast. And I thought, why don't I record this and show you guys how I make it? Not suggesting that people don't know how to cook, but I am suggesting that if you were here, this is what I'll cook for you. So without further ado, I want to show you. I'm making Joaquin and Cindy their favorite spinach omelet with feta cheese in it. And today I'm going to actually do something special, which I'm going to include brown and served sausage. So this is what I'm making, and through the magic of TV, I went ahead and already chopped it up. So first, let's start with what we need for ingredients. Put it on an apron. And let's start this off. So I make them separately. I'm going to make Cindy's first, and I'll make Joaquin's. So the first thing I do is go ahead and crack a couple eggs. Actually, for Cindy's, I'll just use one egg. She prefers to just have one egg omelet. What you want to do is I take a 2-cup measuring cup, crack it in there, and then I'll go ahead and use this. Now, instead of beating like I normally do, what I do is, because this is a thick handle, I actually have the ability to do this. Just roll back and forth in your hand. And what you're trying to do here is add as much air as you possibly can in the egg. So I'll do that. I'll actually, trust me, it's pretty foamy in there. Let that sit for a minute. And then I'll get my pan ready. So you can use any frying pan you want. This is my copper one that Cindy bought me. I'll put it on medium-high heat for about 30 seconds. And what I'm trying to do there is just get it hot. And after I get it hot, I want to go ahead and lower it to medium, somewhere between medium and low. I'll give it a drizzle of olive oil. And that's because the first thing I do in here is put in a handful of baby spinach. You'll notice, and if this works out well, I'll do more videos. But you'll notice that I very seldom use measuring spoons or measuring cups or anything. What I do is, for Cindy's, is take a handful. This is a pretty big handful of baby spinach. I have tried this with regular spinach. Not as tasty. So if you go to the store, do yourself a favor, especially if you're not a big, huge fan of spinach. Try baby spinach. It totally has a different flavor. So we're going to just cook down for a little bit. You'll also notice that I like to use my hands a lot, so I will sometimes use spatulas. And what I want to do is, might as well use the same spatula we're using for the cooking. So I want to cook this down. It'll take a couple of minutes. And what you'll see is that this actually becomes it starts looking like spinach that you normally see in inside of an omelet. I'll hit it with a little bit of salt, because I end up not salting the eggs, and I'll put a little pepper in it. If you twist the pepper and get it going, you'll notice, and actually maybe if I zoom this in, can I? Yeah. I'll turn this down a little bit. The spinach actually starts changing color. It starts getting a little darker. So I keep moving it around. I don't want it to burn. I just put a little bit of olive oil in there just to help the process. Now, I've tried this many ways, and sometimes I cook the spinach all the way down. If the pieces are too big, I'll sometimes pull them out and break them in half. It makes it easier, because what I want to do is create myself a little mound of spinach. You'll see in a minute. You'll see we started with a lot of volume. It was a pretty big bowl. And about now, because about half of it, you can see about half of it is kind of already browned, or wilted, if you will. What I want to do now is go ahead and add the already chopped up and the frosted turkey sausage. I put the turkey sausage in here. It's already cooked, so all we're doing is heating it up. You'll notice now that it's actually becoming all really well wilted. So here's one of the things that I do, and I don't know if it's a secret, but I've never shown anybody before. Maybe I guess it is a secret. So what I do is I'll put it all on one side. You see how I moved it over to one side? And I'm going to put the egg in here. And I'll show you, I'll explain to you why that is. I'll give it one more little swirl. Shake it down. Not adding any additional oil. I'm also going to lower the heat to low. Right, so now the flame is really low. And I'm going to pour it in that empty space And what I want to do, when I cook eggs, what I found is that you want to do as low heat as possible because you want to really treat them nicely, and they will treat you nicely. So what you'll see is that it already started forming like a coating on the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to take the spatula, and I'm going to, this may be a little technique thing, but I'm going to flick the spinach over onto the egg because I want to make sure that I have the spinach with a little bit of egg underneath it. And actually, that's going to do is give me the ability to have the egg directly underneath the spinach, because it'll be important as it continues to cook that I want to be able to have egg underneath the spinach and the sausage, as well as the cheese. I'll add the cheese in a minute, and then it's going to flip over nicely. So while that's cooking, remember I put it on low, I will grab the feta cheese, and we find it easier to buy this feta cheese because it already comes crumbled. And I'll just shake it in. Again, I'm not measuring. I put in probably what looks like a good layer. Use as much cheese as you'd like. Of course, if you don't want feta, you can use, I was going to say cheddar. You can use cheddar or Swiss or whatever kind you'd like. So I'm going to let it cook down a little bit. Now here's the thing where you want to be patient, because it is in the patience that the pan will start releasing the egg. So all I'm doing here is just making sure that the sides are not with a very, very thin layer of egg on it. Just let it cook for a minute. It's on low. And it's really going to give me a nice little separation. So I cook it down. If you can notice, I don't know if you can tell, but here on the edge, I'm able to start picking up some of it. I'm just checking to make sure that, you know, it's coming up off the pan. It'll do that. Just be patient. It will do that. It's first it'll seem very. It's stuck. It's stuck. Don't do anything with it. Let it just sit there, and the egg itself will then release. Get off on this side here. You'll see how this is already off, and it's ready. I'll do the same thing going all the way around. Just loosen it. And I can feel that it's coming up all the way. I flip it over. Now remember, I only use one egg here. For Joaquin's, I'll use two. But I use one egg here, so you'll notice that it already has a nice little brown to it. Nice little brown to it. And I'll just finish it off. So I browned it a little bit. The egg is continuing to cook. The cheese is continuing to get melted. And Aunt Cindy's ready for her spinach. Hope you like this video. Love you guys. Bye-bye.